It's going to be the best of our decks. And let me tell you, some of the plans I got coming up for this are going to be fantastic. I'm going to be posing with some acid.
Oh. Wait a minute. I believe we are we are actually live. We actually just went live right now. So,
Well, shit.
we actually did not catch catch what you were talking about prior to the show starting, but um welcome everybody. That's
Hello,
fantastic.
ladies. Well, then, let me get started.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is just in time of the Atomic Drop Show with my colorful and also handsome co-host Kyle Cruz. And on today's episode of the Atomic Drop Show, Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, but does that make him a head chef too? Lacey Evans loses a tooth in a match with Natalia on Raw. In unrelated news, Dr. Isaac Yang comes to return next week with raging toothless aggression. Elias returns to Raw with a guitar shot that would make the honky tonk man blush and sing the blues. Sean Kingston, Eddie Kingston, and Kofi Kingston to wrestle in a triple threat gimmick last name rights match. The Young Bucks cancel a super kick party, opt for shoots and ladders game night instead. Their hopscotch tournament is pending. And with the Thunderdome being extended with WWE, the Battle Bot revival is now in total jeopardy. All that and more on this episode of the Atomic Drop Show.
That was really impressive. It seems like you've been storing up. I'm like, you were itching because it's been a little while since we've done this thing. So just ready to get back at it, weren't you?
Oh, very much so. Very, very much so.
I understand completely.
We get some news to be breaking around here.
Well, I mean, let's just get to it then, man. What the heck is happening around here?
It's been a long time, my friend.
Very long time. Way too long.
Very much so. Uh, since we have last spoke, I'm sure we've done a podcast since. I, just in time, have taken on a new mantle. I want to give a quick little refresher. I am now no longer working at the physical therapist office that I once was, and I am now self-employed. And let me tell you, self-employment is a interesting journey.
It's a joy, isn't
When,
it?
it is, yes, yes. Trying to find and make time for everything when you're always on the go.
It's an exercise in time management and in, well, like all kinds of management because you got to handle, in your case, your different customers and your different clients. And then you got to find the time to, like just specifically what you do, just when it comes to making the drives and where you go and when you go and just having all that planned out. And yeah, I'm sure it's a pain, but you have that independence though, right?
Oh, it's just me, myself, and I, and a whole bunch of podcasts inside my van.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
That's a lot of independence all done right there. Sit around, listen to Cornette lose his mind. That's always exciting.
He's still
Listen
doing that.
to, oh yeah, he's actually. I feel like he's calmed down a little bit.
I I wonder why.
I get near holiday season.
Oh, is that the reason?
Oh, without question.
Ah,
I
okay.
apologize for yawning. We're a little bit later than how we wanted to start.
Bruh, I don't know what you're talking about because usually our shows have been starting at 10, so we actually started a few minutes early. But we still are a little out of practice because, for some things or for some reason, the only thing we're consistent at is inconsistency. So
Ain't
shout
that the
out.
shit?
So shout out to all of our fans out there that are that are staying loyal to us. And absolutely, man, it's crazy.
Hopefully, we can sit there and get this uploaded to Apple Podcasts.
Man. Hey, so all right, I don't know what's going on, right? But Apple's tripping because I think like somebody has my password and like has my like Apple account because there's this like this mysterious Apple iPhone that keeps creeping into my allowed devices or what have you. But the crazy thing is like I don't own anything Apple. The only Apple product I owned was an iPod that doesn't work anymore. Yet I get these notifications all the time saying somebody or like you have logged in to your iPhone 13 or whatever number they're on. And I'm like, who is this? Happens like without fail every day. So whoever you are, I'm watching you. And I put on 2-step authentication, sucker.
Oh,
it's
shit.
over. That's right. Her days of phone identity theft, it's over. It's done.
Because everybody wants that best of compilation of Randy Orton's vintage entrances on someone's iPod.
No comment.
None taken. No. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Atomic Drop Show. We are a wrestling pop culture phenomenon that has literally trying to regain what we had earlier in the year, much like everything else that has gone in 2020, which is a dumpster fire, tire fire, or anything else. So we are completely out of sync on what we're doing. However, the one thing that we will never be out of sync of is running out of Reload rub and seasoning.
I hate to actually prove you a liar right now because I am at the very, very end of my double action.
No.
So, yeah, man. And that's the go-to. That's the go-to rub. So, look, Mrs. Cruz has been telling me for a while, like, hey, we need to get some more Reload. We got to get some more. And I haven't done it. And now we're dipping really, really close into dangerous territory of having
unknown territory. Parts
of having unrubbed meat. And that isn't something you really want parts of.
I want fully loaded meat here.
You want you want fully loaded, high caliber.
Ooh.
Heat packing heat. Magnum sized. Double action. Wait, are they like sending some like subliminal messages with their titles here? Because you could turn everything sexual.
We may have to talk to Joel and Stacy.
Joel and Stacy, man, I don't know. They might have just slipped something by us here.
I was thinking of the ice cream bars, but
that's because you're just a wholesome man.
I am. I'm a family man.
Of course, we're not going to talk about how right before we went on air, you were talking about how you're going to open up an OnlyFans account. But beyond that, completely wholesome.
What I do behind my closed doors and when I shut the drapes is my own damn business.
Until you decide to post it on OnlyFans and charge for it, then it goes out to the public. No judgment.
Holiday's coming, man. The extra hustle and grind is real right now.
Oh,
PlayStation 5's coming out soon.
Well, that's why you got to get yourself a sugar mama.
Oh, this is very true.
That's what the PS5 is for.
Oh, absolutely. Why do you need a sugar mama when you can just go get yourself some freaking more Reload? The spiciness, the hotness, the sultry flavors of Reload rub and seasoning. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to experience what me and Kyle have been doing for the past year and a half, go to reloadrub.com. Use promo code Atomic Drop and save yourself 10% at checkout. Get some merch, get some swag. Tell Joel and Stacy what up, and tell them that the Atomic Drop Boys sent you over.
No doubt about it, man. Reload cannot sing the praises of them enough. And honestly, you could put it on everything. Dude, I had burritos tonight and we threw on some packing heat and some fully loaded. Just like, I mean, like, look, it is obviously meant, when you're, cooking some chops or, cooking some steak or, like, just if you want to throw something on the grill, obviously that is what it's made for. But if you want that little extra bit of flavor, that little extra bit of like just that extra punch right there.
Ooh, it hurts. It cold cocked me.
Hey, but I'll tell you, it is life-changing, and I say it all the time. Shout out to Joel. Shout out to Stacy. They have an amazing product. Their lineup of rubs, untouched, unmatched anywhere. So go to reloadrub.com. Save yourself 10%. Tell them the Atomic Drop Show sent you, and just stop wasting your life, man. Like, if you don't have Relub, get to it, man.
Listen, live your life fully. Reload your life.
Yeah, it is. That's right, buddy.
And I want to do a quick little unpaid sponsor here.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if I've ever talked to you about the golden praises of this new product that has come into my life.
Talk about it.
Have you, good sir, ever heard of Dr. Squatch?
I'm sorry, Dr. Squatch?
Yes, sir. Dr. Squatch all natural body soap.
Okay. I have not, but tell me more.
Dr. Squatch is, as I just stated, is an all natural body soap. It is made free of chemicals, and the soaps that come from there are by far the most luxurious lathering styles of soap ever created by God's green earth.
Okay.
Would you like to hear some of them?
Yes, I would.
Right now, since we are in the holiday season, they have the Drunken Pumpkin.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right.
My personal favorite is Pine Tar.
Pine Tar. All right.
Yes. Now let me tell you what is inside of the Pine Star or the Pine Tar. Pine Tar is this all-star bar, which is made of real pine extract, is as tough as a friendly cut bat. A true MVP of the shower, this heavyweight hitter knocks out grime with its gritty composition and its ultra manly woodly scent. Tossed in an exfoliating and nourishing oatmeal and this super soothing shea butter, and you got yourself a bullpen of all natural ingredients that will strike out any stink.
All right. All right.
Followed up by Nautical Sage, Cedar Citrus, Cool Fresh Aloe, Deep Seas Goat Milk, Grapefruit IPA, the Eucalyptus Greek Yogurt, which I am currently using, Cold Brew Cleanse, Bay Rum. Let me tell you about this Bay Rum real quick, real fast. I am a fan of the Bay Rum. That's probably my number 2.
Right.
Get on the island, get on island time whenever you like with this tropical inspired bar that is as intoxicatingly delightful as freshly mixed cocktails. This seriously revitalizing blend of crushed cloves, cinnamon sticks, crisp pine, and zesty orange will whisk you away to a place of total serenity and cleanliness. When you emerge from the shower, moisturized and wonderfully scented, don't be disappointed that you are stepping on a bath mat and not a tropical white sandy beach.
Who's writing this copy? I think I need to hire them because they're really good.
Spearmint basil rub and golden moss scrub.
Okay. All right.
$7 for an all-natural bar soap. And let me tell you, best freaking investment.
$7 not too bad. Not
No,
bad
sir.
for an all natural product. That's okay. That's a really nice bargain, man. That's a nice deal.
I get them sent to the house quarterly.
Oh man. All right. Well, so an unofficial shout out, an unofficial testimonial here. We should really look into them advertising on the podcast because that'd be really dope.
Wouldn't that be Dr. Squatch's all-natural soap?
Dr. Squatch's natural soap. I like it. I hadn't had the pleasure of hearing about it before, but now it's worth looking into. Definitely, man. I'll have to take a look.
Let me tell you, I cannot rave anymore about the pine tar. Pine tar, it literally feels like you are bathing out in the woods, and there's a stream that you are bathing in.
Wow. Yeah. That's sounds it sounds pretty crazy. Now, all right, you say you get it shipped to you quarterly. How'd you find out about it?
Instagram.
So just through Instagram, just scrolling the feed,
And
and just
influenced.
you were influenced. Okay, all right.
So when I went to the Facebook page, I saw that one of my former coworkers liked the page, and I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, you a fan of Dr. Squatch?" And he said, and he replied back, "Oh, we have a lot to talk about now."
Okay. And that's how it happened. That's dope.
That's right.
That's dope.
What I can do is I'll be more than happy to send you out a link so you can try out a bar for free.
I might have to take you up on that link though.
There you go.
I'll take you up on that link.
With that all said and done, big shout out to Dr. Squatch. He's a very sophisticated looking Squatch.
Fantastic.
And with that, we have a ton of wrestling news to get to.
So, chat me up a little bit. What the heck is going on here in the world of pro wrestling, brother?
Well, I do know that the WWE Network is going to be getting a new show.
Yes, actually, earlier today, Sam Roberts did announce that he is getting a brand new show on the WWE Network. Not Sam Wrestling is coming to the network, dropping the 22nd. So that's next Thursday, 7 days from today. That is coming to the WWE Network. But I hear that there are also other shows coming down the pipeline too. So I would imagine be on the lookout for that. But yeah, man, like
I was talking about Sam Roberts.
Yeah,
Sam Roberts is a hell of a dude.
Look, man, I can't stand his takes, man. Like he'll be on the NXT pre-shows and he'll be like he'll just be the contrarian, like just to be the contrarian. It's, you know, he doesn't really have fully formed thought. I don't know. I'm not a fan. So I personally will probably not watch that. But there are other things that are probably coming to the free version of the network that I would totally watch, every single week. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. And we also have a whole bunch of other news going on here. Speaking of the WWE Network, have you seen or finally seen The Undertaker: The Last Ride?
Brother, I sure have not. And I completely forgot about it until you mentioned it. Oh yeah, that was a thing that I should probably watch, cuz it's 4 parts or 5 parts, I forget how
It's
many.
5 parts.
Yeah, so 5 parts, and then you know, apparently didn't like I thought I saw some story quite some time ago that said the Undertaker, when they sat down to shoot this thing, that he actually retired at the end of filming it, but Vince saw it and he hated it, and so he had Taker refilm a line of never say never. I can't make that up. That is completely and fully Vince right there.
Oh yes, it's just who he is.
It's who he is to a fault. But
Crazy old bastard.
yeah, no doubt about it.
Following with some WWE Network news, have you been following any of the AEW and what's been happening on the other channel?
So, with AEW, I know I know a little bit. I know that they had their anniversary show last night, and they had a card full of title matches. I'll ask you, did any titles change last night?
No.
No? Well, it's television. See. Now hold on a second. See, at least with NXT. All right, now look, I understand I am a total NXT apologist. I don't hate AEW, but I'm a complete NXT apologist. So, at least with NXT, you actually get title changes. You get cruiserweight title changes. You had the NXT championship change hands and be decided just a handful of weeks ago. You'll get North American title you'll get all of these things. But AEW, they always have these title matches, with the exception of the thing with Cody and who did Cody beat?
Mr. Brody Lee.
He beat me. Are they still calling him Mr. Brody Lee?
Yes.
I'm gonna go off on a tangent in a little bit, but it's at least with NXT, you get title changes in their title matches. AEW's hey, we have a title match every other week, but no titles ever change. By the way, shout out to Big Swole. You did your thing against Hikaru Shida. You're awesome. Don't let the haters get you down. But beyond that, it's I don't really keep up with AEW like that. I have my friends and I have my people that I generally support, but it's something about it, and I can't put my finger on it. It's something about it that I'm just not a fan of.
I wholeheartedly agree with your opinion.
Did you? Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, did you watch any of the 30 years of Jericho thing last week?
I seen what I've seen online. I was busy that night. However, I did see him and Luther have a match. If that's what you want to call it.
I mean, look, hey, they tried. They did their best. Luther is
he's up there.
He's up there, and look, so is Jericho, and I think Jericho can rise to a certain, like, he can work main event style matches. I don't think that's really up for debate anymore. But, you know, when it comes to elevating, you know, other guys who are kind of older or a little bit more limited, I don't think Jericho can pull that off anymore unless the other person just has ridiculous star power.
Without question.
You know, and Jericho and Luther, that combination, sorry, man, it just didn't cut it.
No, that it yeah. It
You okay over there? You having a stroke?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Words to explain that match are hard to form.
It wasn't very good, I'd imagine. Like it didn't look very good. It didn't seem very good, to be completely honest.
However, I am far more intrigued and excited about the kind of maybe possibility somewhere down the road that this might actually happen for both parties, that Jericho and MJF are going to have a steak dinner.
All right, so they're going to have this steak dinner, and, you know, they've been kind of teasing some stuff with MJF and Jericho off and on for the past couple months, just based off of the conjecture I've seen and, you know, just little short clips on social media. Is this leading to a match at Full Gear, or are they going to hold it off, or like where do you think this whole thing is headed?
You know, I'm hoping it's going to be a match, but they're two of the best heels that they got going on right now. I don't know why they would want to sit there and turn one baby face when they are the best at what they're doing right now.
Well, it's clear that out of the two, you would have to turn Jericho, because, you know, it's too easy to, one, really hate MJF, and two, it's really easy to like Jericho because, you know, he's funny, and, you know, but he's not funny in a particularly smarmy way. He's just highly entertaining. MJF, you like just legit want to punch him in the face, which is fantastic. Like that's one of the hallmarks of a good heel. But, you know, I'd imagine that once that happens, you could either just have Jericho do a slight turn just for the feud, and then go right back to his heelish Inner Circle deal, or you could have Jericho turn completely face and dissolve the Inner Circle and let the guys go their separate ways and just have it be what it's going to be.
They can't dissolve the Inner Circle quite yet.
How come?
Because I just ordered 6 bottles of a little bit of the bubbly.
Did you really order 6 bottles?
I did order 6 bottles.
Bruh, that is, man, I'm a little jealous. Man. Man, it was good stuff.
It's back in stock, baby.
It's back in stock.
They cleared out all the 2018 stock. Now it's for the 2019. Highly recommend it.
Big bet. So I gotta do it, man. I gotta bite the bullet and get some more of that bubbly because it's pretty darn delicious.
You need to get the bubbly. You need to get the reload. You can have yourself one hell of like a Michelin 4-star restaurant style meal with the bubbly and the reload for a dinner. Could be the best pork chop you've ever eaten.
Brother, I will tell you what. I actually had the best pork chops ever last week, and it was fantastic. And shout out to that steak and chop seasoning, also by Reload. Reload.
Reload.
Shut up, you Shut up, you SOB. Here's the thing. you,
Their new unofficial sponsor.
reload. Reload, man. Freaking reload. And shoot, man, I can't even finish my freaking impromptu plug. But look, man, like we could plug reload all day. But they're fantastic, and you could legitimately put it on everything. Transform your meat, because like I said, nobody wants unrubbed meat, including your chops. Okay, all right. It was fantastic, man. I think it was like last Thursday had them, and it was fantastic. It was awesome, dude.
You make my stomach grumble. I'm hungry.
Hey, dude, like I was eating right before we came on the air. That's why we were late, in Justin's words, just because I was stuffing my fat face. But it was really good because it had some reload on it. So
there you go.
Was what it was. All right, so with AEW, I know they have this pay-per-view coming up, and you sent me a picture last night, and you were representing FTR a little bit because you had that, like
I had the chops.
Yeah, you have the chops, you have the baldy, you're looking like, I forgot his name again.
Dawson.
Chad Dawson? No.
Cash.
No, it's Cash Wheeler. And then the other guy is
Dax Dawson.
I don't think he's Dawson anymore, dude. I think he's like Dax Harwood or something like that. I don't think he's like actual Dawson yet or anymore, because isn't like Dawson was his WWE name. It was Dawson and Dax
Harwood.
Yeah, Dax Harwood. Because in WWE they were Wilder, Dash Wilder, yes. and
Dax and Dawson. Oh, we're out of sync.
Hey, dude. I know your head's spinning. You know why my head's spinning. So we, out of practice, out of sorts. Only for now, though. Only for now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Till we get everything running. Got to get the wheels back running on this train.
It's true. It's facts. So there you go. That's what's going on in AEW world. Is there anything else you want to get at within AEW? I'm pretty much out of sorts. How's the Moxley run going? I mean, he's been defending this title on TV and through these pay-per-views. He seems to be kind of running out of opponents, right?
He just beat Lance Archer, who had recovered back from COVID.
Yes, he did just recover from COVID. I saw that announcement a few weeks ago. He went public with it. Good to see him back. Good to see him healthy. COVID is no joke. Speaking of COVID, it's actually got tested for COVID because I went to NXT TakeOver a couple weeks ago, and I gotta ask you, have you had your test taken yet?
I have never gotten a test yet.
Yeah, so that was my first one, and
did it tickle your brainstem?
Yeah, man, it kind of did. I was mistaken because I thought it was just a giant cotton swab, like a Q-tip. It's not. It's like a those dental toothpick kind of things, Like,
to get the calcium and the gunk off your plaque and stuff off your teeth.
yeah, it's basically that, and they like
Like a
stick.
sickle.
Yes, and it's basically like that up your nose. So it's kind of like it didn't hurt, but it was just this weird sensation of, oh, like that's normally, like, that normally doesn't happen to me. So it, you know, 10 out of 10 would recommend to see if you are COVID positive or negative. But beyond that, my particular experience, the lady was like, "Hey, so is this your first test?" And I'm like, "Yep." And then she just kind of like laughed and shook her head, and then she just jammed that motherfucker in there. I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool. That
Your
works,
results
man."
in 48 hours.
No, so they actually did the rapid testing on the spot. So we knew within 20 minutes. And that's how,
that's perfect.
yeah. So I guess for every show that they're doing, at the, what are they calling it now? The Capitol Wrestling Center, at the Performance Center down here in Orlando, that before every taping, everybody, talent, staff, even the fans, they are getting tested on site, and you'll have your results back in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you're negative, you don't get to go in. I'm sorry, if you're negative, you do get to go in. If you're positive, you clearly can't go in, and you gotta just take it from there. So, man, it was actually like kind of a cool setup there. An interesting way to go through my first COVID test, and at the end of it, got to see I got to see live wrestling again, which is something that is it's really tiring if you haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is there any more live wrestling in your near future?
That's a good question. A buddy of mine actually texted a few hours ago to see if I was going to NXT's Halloween Havoc.
Yo.
I if I want to go, I can go. I'm not sure yet, man. It all just kind of depends. Like, my weeks kind of vary from week to week, but I'm just curious. I just want to see if you're gonna have the massive pumpkins like they did in WCW. That's what I want. Just give me the big old pumpkins and the giant bat and the freaking graveyard set.
Chamber of Horrors.
Chamber. Wasn't that
Abdullah the Butcher?
Is that the same thing as the freaking Thunder Cage, or whatever they called it, where the cage was like electrified? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think you might be thinking of something else.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting my there's about 60 years of wrestling knowledge crammed into a 32-year-old brain, so forgive me on and off night, but it is what it is.
I am ecstatic that they're bringing back Halloween Havoc. We all know Vince does not like old WCW pay-per-views, with the exception of the Bash.
But he doesn't like the Bash. Well, no, he doesn't like the Great American Bash. He loved the Bash, and that's why he changed it to the Bash. But the Great American Bash, he absolutely hated it. I don't know if there's a single name that has remained on the main rosters, if you will. I think all of the WCW callbacks they've all been Hunter. And it makes sense because Hunter was a WCW guy.
Yep. I was just gonna say they just redid the In Your House. It makes sense that it's time for Halloween Havoc. I'm waiting for Super Brawl to come out.
See, but like Super Brawl didn't really have a theme though. Like the only thing
I know that. I just want to see it.
I mean, like the Great American Bash kind of makes sense, for Fourth of July theme, and it makes some sense. War games, obviously, which I'm really sad about because it doesn't like. Are we gonna get war games? I don't know how that would work. I don't know if you could do war games at the Capitol Wrestling Center. You might be able to actually. Maybe.
You can do whatever you want in Florida now.
I meant like within that actual building. But yes, our state is running amok. We're in trouble out here. That's all I'll say.
I heard rumor.
Mm-hmm.
I heard rumor that they're going to be bringing back December to Dismember. Just rumor.
So if they bring it back, the only way that'll work is if you bring back the Extreme Elimination Chamber. That's the only way it works.
We need to have it happen. There's no two ways about this now.
Look, you already have Lashley, okay? You'll Big Show's out here making random appearances. Look,
there's two.
If you pay Punk like $3 million for one match, if you give him Brock money, he'll show up.
There's potentially three. You got MVP.
I don't think he was in that one though.
No, but I thought, wasn't he? No, he wasn't. Who else was in that thing?
Well,
come on, 60 years.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Test was in there. Unfortunately,
right. Who can we have him? Who can replace Test?
So we have to think about it. Is this going to be an NXT show or a main roster show? Because if it's a main roster show, then we can totally have some fun with this. You could probably put I don't know. Dude, you gotta put Dabba-Kato in there from Raw Underground. Freaking put Lars Sullivan in that mug.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yo, speaking of Lars Sullivan, bruh, what is their infatuation? Mitch? Oh, has that his name in the
Mitch Bennett?
Well, I still have not seen it. So I'm
you want to do some reportive investigation, by all means. You can report
not about that.
Next
I'm okay. Nope. That's all right. That's quite fine.
You know what we can do? We'll have we need to get Todd back on here and he can review that for us and get back to us.
Yo, where is Todd, man? Like, is Todd still around? Off the grid? Yeah. Well,
he'll pop up.
He'll pop up, but hey, let's get him on the case. I'm sure he'll do it. But yo, like, what is this company's infatuation with problematic wrestlers? You have Lars Sullivan, who wasn't he like fined $100,000 because of some old bodybuilding forum posts that he that emerged where he called out gays and then he said some like racist stuff, some homophobic stuff, some transphobic stuff, all kinds of stuff. And WWE was just like, hey, so we're gonna quote.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, hey, look, like we'll bring you back in a year. Just sit back, relax. Nah, he was out here wilding. Came back on SmackDown like it was nothing. It's the Velveteen Dream model of, hey, let's keep you off of TV, kid, and by the time we bring you back, nobody's gonna remember. I'm
That's pretty much it.
I'm like,
Except for the tweet that Hunter liked. Oopsie.
I was hoping you were gonna get to that. That was fantastic.
I hope to God that was on purpose.
Oh, Trips will do that. Like he'll like, some of the more viral, controversial, anti WWE, anti Vince tweets, and like he'll like it for like 20 or 30 minutes, and then he'll unlike it, just because people know that they like check for his tweets and text and check for his likes. So I think he does it. He might find some of these things genuinely funny, but he probably just does it to troll as well. But that's crazy. It's really crazy.
Boy, I saw him come back and I went, why? Because he up there ranks with me the same as Matt Riddle does.
Are we talking about Dream or Lars?
Lars. Well, might as well throw fucking Dream in there too. We'll just rattle them all
off. I would say Lars hasn't, as far as we know, physically assaulted anybody. Now that doesn't mean that emotional trauma doesn't carry weight, because it certainly does. It certainly does. But the things that are being accused of, Dream and Riddle, Riddle with the, with the physical assault, Dream with the pedophilia, just in general. My guy really said, "What school do you go to?" Man, like he really said that. I would venture to say that is still somehow worse than Lars. Lars saying these things, it's bad. It's really bad. But is it worse, or is it really in the exact same category as Dream or Riddle? I don't know. I do know I don't like either one of them. Hey Justin, man, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure. Just making sure I'm not on an island on my own.
Nope. No fantasy booking island over there, brother.
Gotcha. Speaking of fantasy booking, there's we had ourselves, I forget how long ago now, we had ourselves a good old draft quite some time ago. And this past week on WWE TV, they had another draft, and they shook things up again, as they say.
They love to do it once a year.
I'm pretty sure it's been like 2 or 3 times, right? Like, because then they have have one like after the Rumble. No, how am I tripping?
No, I don't think they did. Sorry, I keep catching myself dozing off.
Oh Lord! All right, kayfabe, brother, but that's perfectly fine.
I know. Kayfabe, hardly kayfabe. No, they did not have a draft this year after Rumble. I know that the last big one they had was back during the executive ones, where USA Network and Fox Network were vying for whoever they wanted to be on whatever brand.
They had Cletus in the freaking room, having them trying to negotiate deals too, right? The other freaking Fox robot, excuse me. Fox robot.
Not to be confused with Cletus the slack-jawed yokel.
Some folks will never lose a goat. Then again, some folk like Cletus the slack-jawed yokel. Hey, Ma! Get on the dang roof.
Good old Cletus.
Shout out to Cletus, man. I miss Cletus. Him and his, 72 kids.
That's right. But yeah, they haven't had a draft. I mean, sure, they've traded people, which
Yes.
I think that's bullshit. And
very much so.
I'm not a fan of how they got to sit there and tell everyone, like, somebody like Randy Orton's been drafted to Raw when he never really got drafted anywhere. He's just still on Raw.
Yeah, so
I found it annoying.
Like, they need to, what I would do is I would say for the month before the draft, just announce 4 weeks out, we're going to have the WWE draft. And for those 4 weeks, you declare everybody as free agents. Okay. You say, all right, everybody, go to whatever show you want to. It's complete anarchy. Do whatever it is you want. You are all under WWE contract, but you're not beholden to any particular show. And so therefore, if you establish that, that nobody really has a home, it would actually feel special if you saw Randy Orton is drafted to Raw, because for that last month, he was having this random storyline with a SmackDown guy, because then there is that suspense of will Randy end up on Raw, or will he end up on SmackDown to feud with Big E? It's kind of you have to have some kind of stakes before everything, whether it's Survivor Series, where it's the one night of the year where brands go head to head in one-on-one competition, or however Michael Cole says it.
Yep.
If you do it with Survivor Series, you have to do it with the draft. You have to establish, hey, there's a little bit of chaos here. There's a little lack of everybody's favorite term, law and order. Right. So when you have that established, any move, any draft pick, whether it's the most conventional pick like Randy Orton staying on Raw, or freaking Roman Reigns being on SmackDown, there's still a little bit of weight, because there is just a wee bit of doubt. There is a wee bit of curiosity, of just wonder, what are they going to do? Because they're feuding with people on both brands. Where are they going to go? It just makes too much sense to me.
I hate how they like I'm saying, they spread it out over 2 nights. I mean, you're picking Monday night where people are trying to get ready to go into work. It's a school freaking night. Now, mind you, the graphics and whatnot for the show's been pretty damn fantastic. I will say that much.
Oh, the draft graphics?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, their graphics are top notch. They are the best at what they do.
Without WWE's production crew. I know we say this maybe about once a video or once a YouTube or anything else. They are just fantastic for having what they do. I'm just completely flabbergasted. I mean, I know a couple weeks ago I sent you that South Carolina Gamecocks hype video,
Dude,
and
that's
I
really
thought that
good
was
too.
just like on par.
Yeah, so sports teams and just mini college franchises and various professional sports franchises, their media departments are incredible. Like I went out for a couple of jobs with the Orlando Magic down here, and you see the kind of stuff they produce, like just their hype trailers and like just even something as simple uh, as the intro video that they play before the starting lineups. It's like just incredible pieces of like dang near cinema. It's fantastic, and so certainly I grew up with WWE being that standard, but you could find it across any sport, e- even going into just certain corporate, like certain corporate videos have the same feel. So it's just really really cool, man. It's cool to see.
It's cool. Seeing other productions and seeing somebody actually put together a motion card too. I know it takes some time and effort.
Yeah, yeah. Um, more than a lot of people realize. But hey, it's part of a bigger, larger project, and you know what? People get joy
Onwards
out
and
of it.
upwards.
Onwards and upwards. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Or as Buzz would say, to infinity and beyond.
Listen, so I just watched Toy Story. Jesus Cruz
Of
and
course
I's,
you did.
yeah, Jesus Cruz and I, we watched it not too long ago. So now that was number one. I haven't seen
Yes.
two or three. Did Toy Story 4 come out, or did they just announce production of it?
Without question. Uh, I know we sit there and we just praise it and say that their production team is probably the best in the world. And I'm not knocking Jericho or CM Punk. They are fantastic at what they do.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. It's yeah, the best in the world, and um they hire and they bring aboard the best in the world. So um it's always a
Now,
yeah.
with that said, do you feel like if maybe AEW had that style of graphics, you think that would only help them, or you think they're quite content with how their logos look right now?
um on the production end, uh I think their graphics and stuff, I think those are fine.
Right.
I don't necessarily like how the show is shot. I don't necessarily like how they shoot some of their bigger guys. Um, but you know, production is it's look, it's tough because when you're going up against the juggernaut. I mean, look, quite frankly, is WWE in in first place, and it used to be a distant first. But like I have ESPN Plus. Thanks to that wonderful Disney Plus bundle. God, why can I speak tonight?
It's late.
Relub. So
We're lovers,
um,
lovers and friends.
wow, that's another throwback for you.
I've been
Tell
in the mid
me
2000s.
again. Tell me again, baby. Yep.
Yeah,
Now I've been trying to get with you, shawty.
there you go, my man.
Um, yeah. So look, the Fed is by far number one in the game, and they used to be a distant number one, but because I'm seeing like more UFC shows, UFC, they're number two, but it's not that far off. Like UFC has really good stuff, and then AEW on the production end, it's not fair because there's just a certain kind of infrastructure that WWE has. Plus, WWE has like 18 billion cameras with all this footage dating back decades, and AEW has like a year and a half of footage. So it's a little tricky. They do really well with what they have.
Of course.
As far as like their promo packages and their graphics, but as far as like how the shows are shot generally, like just when I'm watching TNT, when I do watch it, it's not my favorite thing in the world. To be completely honest, I actually like how Ring of Honor is shot. Impact, to a certain extent, they do a really good job too. But AEW just kind of falls a little short to me, which is a shame, just because they have a certain amount of money allotted to them that I think with like, it's not a money issue. I think it's just they need a fresh pair of eyes, and they have experienced people in charge, which is good, but they're people who are already set in their ways, and they don't have the freshest eyes for a new way to present pro wrestling.
So if they were given an opportunity to have you say, hey, I want you to create a new logo for us, would you be able to do that? Hypothetically.
Yeah, absolutely, I could.
There you go. You heard it first. Kyle Cruz is going to be submitting a new logo for AEW.
Why are you trying to get me into entrapment, bro? Wait, like, what you signing me up for, bro? What you mean, man? I got certain things on the horizon, man. I ain't trying to get in trouble, man. I ain't trying to.
I want to go to AEW.
Huh?
Maybe I want to go to AEW. Huh? I was supposed to go to that house show that was coming in November that got rescheduled till next June.
Jeez, next June. Next June.
I got my refund.
Yeah. He told me that you were just gonna get the refund because some other things didn't work out for you. But that's a bummer. Man. I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm so heartbroken.
So this is why, like, you're asking me about me attending like live shows in the future just because you want to live vicariously through me. I get it.
Those are my
a lot of people do.
Words, yes.
A lot of people do, man. I totally get it. I've only been to, I have to make sure of this. I've only been to one AEW show, and that was to Fyter Fest last year in Daytona, and that was really, really cool. But beyond that, they have these tapings in Jacksonville, which is slightly further away than Daytona. And especially with NXT running every week, like 2 blocks away. I think that might be the safer option. Although I did have an opportunity. If I had the chance to, I could have gone to All Out back in, is that August or last month? It might have been last month. I think it was last month.
Okay.
I shot this music video with the Machine, Brian Cage. And so, there was an offer for us to go, and for some reason, I forget what happened, but I couldn't go, and I was kind of bummed about it.
We were
because the
supposed to go to
show
Mania.
I was supposed to go to Mania 2, but I was also supposed to go to this last AEW pay-per-view as well. But yeah, you're right.
I try to think so. It's not often that I am, but when I do, I make sure I let the world know that I was right.
You got to take those times when you can get them right.
Without question.
No doubt about it.
Now, before we go for an additional hour or so, yeah. What do you? What are your thoughts on the tribal chief angle?
Oh man, yeah. So it's been a it's been a cool minute. WWE has finally turned Roman Reigns heel, and it is what many people have said for a good while, that there is something about Roman Reigns that is inherently charismatic that just doesn't necessarily shine through as much when he is this smiling baby face behind the shield vest. You let him loose, you have him let loose as a heel, and you put him up against, like you put him up against your cousin, and it's like, yo, that is peak storytelling, that is peak television. And
it's
so
Pete Heyman.
This whole thing has Heyman all over it. So Heyman has been really in the background here, but Roman has shined. Uso has shined.
Flourished.
Yeah, dude. Like, Uso has been incredible during this feud too, almost to the point that you almost kind of want to see him win. I know that's not the plan, but it's like, nah, like, yo, you want Uso to like go in and actually extract this measure of revenge. Not extract, but that's what you're looking for.
I agree with you. It's just been a really good time right now to be a wrestling fan. At least I'm watching Raw. Or excuse me, SmackDown. I don't know what I am. My name's Justin.
So I got your name right.
Hey, always need to know my own name. I'll never forget my name.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Do you have anything else you want to add for tonight?
Nah, man. I just continue to watch wrestling, support wrestling, and for crying out loud, if you are an indie wrestler and you worked the Collective this past week, this massive GCW sponsored weekend, go and get tested for COVID, please, because there are there's multiple people that are refusing to get tested, and there are a handful of those who have, and it turns out that they actually have it. So oh yeah, and GCW is actually, so they ran Indianapolis this past weekend, and then they're going to California this weekend. So in less than a week's time, they are traveling all across the country with their talent coming from all over. Talent that came from all over to get to Indianapolis, one of the most severe hotspots in the country, to go back to California, which is another hotspot. Look, I'm just gonna editorialize real quick.
Go ahead.
GCW just needs to cancel the show. They don't need to run California that bad. If you want to run a show, that's fine. Make it local. Run it in your typical area, in the tri-state area. Just run it in Jersey somewhere. You don't have to go out to California to this basically like unincorporated part of the state that's like legit like lawless. You don't have to do that. But hey, I'm kind of partial just because generally speaking, I'm not the biggest GCW fan for reasons that I'm not going to get into at the moment. But some people are being mad irresponsible right now. So
There you go.
beyond that, continue to watch wrestling, support wrestling on every single level, not just the big boys. And
tees.
shout out to all of the wrestlers who have their merch, whether it is located on Pro Wrestling Tees or What a Maneuver or whatever, fully gimmicked, whatever kind of site they're on. What was the name of the what was the name of the site we were gonna have our gear at, like our merch line?
It was Cafe Press.
Yo, that was it. Cafe Press. Shout out to Cafe Press. Wherever talent has their gear, has their merch, go and support and buy it. It means a lot.
Dropper.
Yo, you gotta get the bomb dropper. Get the bomb dropper. Good grief. What a throwback.
I do want to say, you know what we need to do in the next upcoming weeks or so?
What's that?
I want to review Talking Shop and Shopomania.
Talking Shopomania? The first one or the one that they're doing?
One that's upcoming. The world's worst pay-per-view ever.
So I think I probably need to watch the first one just to get a preview of what to expect, because I don't know what the heck to expect from these Talking Shopomanias.
Wouldn't you rather go in flying blind though, just to see it as how awful they want it to be?
The only reason why I would push back against that theory is for the same reasons why, if you didn't watch the initial deletion with Matt Hardy, that everything that built on top of it just didn't make it has no context unless you saw that first one. So that would be the only reason why I'd want to watch the first one. But I might just do it. I might just go in blind. If that's what you want me to do, then I could do it, man. I can go in with an open mind to be completely shocked, entertained, and at some points probably embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. I fully expect that.
Big Sex Ferguson. Fuck you, buddy.
That's what Gallows is calling himself now?
Big Sex Ferguson. Well, if you remember that during Southpaw Regional Wrestling, he was Tex Ferguson.
Right. I remember Tex. I don't remember Sex.
Yep, now he's Sex Ferguson. And
wow.
Chad Too Bad is still Chad Too Bad, which I don't know how they got over that one, but
hey man, maybe he spelled it with 2 D's.
Could be. Could very well possibly be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this impromptu episode of the Atomic Drop Show where I, just in time, attempted to try to stay awake.
Well, you did try, so I'll give you credit.
Thank you. For Kyle Cruz, this is just in time, and hopefully we'll see you next week in 7 days.
Later.
See you.
Hold up.